Alrighty, yo, what is going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94, back with another reaction video. Today, we finna react to Clash in Italy was pretty mid. I did not do a review on this right away. That's because I didn't watch it. I didn't finish it. I finished it up, so yeah, now I can finally talk about it. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it.
What is up, guys? Wrestling Premiere is here. Another pay-per-view, another international show. Now, these international shows always have the benefit of having a wonderful crowd, a wonderful representation of said country in a single arena. And for that, it's always an easy watch. With Clash in Italy, I found myself a bit into it, but not too moved by it to the point where it's like, I want to watch Raw the next night. There's nothing really on this show that made me be like, whoa, this is amazing. This is out of this world. However, it was an easy watch for the most part. So right now, I don't want to waste time. Let's get into it. Okay. The first match on the show is for the WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes defends the gold against Gunther. Now, I had high hopes for this match because of the build and because of their previous match at Crown Jewel. The match was pretty fast-paced. Only after a few minutes, they moved quickly to the big moves, and the idea of the sleeper being the key to victory for Gunther was prevalent throughout this one.
I'm gonna say this was a good match. Bullshit ending. Everything was good up until the ending, considering the fact that two fucking mid-carders put on one, arguably the best match of the night, and you follow it up with this bullshit. Same old shenanigans. Not taking anything that was produced in AAA with Chad Gable versus Luke Kaiser, that guy, the Kaiser guy. Yeah, the masterpiece that they put on, and the masterpiece you could have told with Gunther and Cody, just to give us that bullshit ending. WWE never learns.
Very hard-hitting affair. It's getting enjoyable. You're seeing Cody bounce off the ropes with the Cody Cutter. He's hitting the crossroads, seeing the powerbomb and the clothesline from Gunther. Then the match ended abruptly. It was clear that something had went down with Gunther reaching for the rope. His foot was under the rope, but then he tried kicking out, and that was it. It was awkward, and it happened right when the match was going. I think this is similar to how Gunther tried cheating in the past, only for it to catch up to him now. My issue is that it was so damn close to being a great match. It was building towards that, but of course they need to justify a rematch to drag time, because that's just how they do things. We should have known that this opening the show was going to lead to some nonsense or some drama. I do hope they have a good sequel. It is clear that they're going to tell another story where it's like, I couldn't be beat by you, Cody Rhodes. He's going to be talking, the Ring General wouldn't lose to such a stupid move like the Crossroads. I just feel like here,
you predicted correctly.
Seeing the big moves and the big spots, it felt like they were holding themselves back as opposed to going all out. And it's always this fear of urgency where it's like, well, let's drag this story out. Why don't we do this until the fans get bored of it and could care less about it? Rhea Ripley defends the WWE Women's Championship against Jade Cargill.
This shit pissed me off.
Black queens forever, snow bunnies never. I said black queens forever, snow bunnies never. I said black queens forever, snow bunnies never.
I kind of wanted them to give the title back to Jade. Give it back to Jade and start a feud where it's Jade, Rhea, and Charlotte. Because what else are you going to give Jade? What, a feud with Charlotte? Then what you going to do after that? Bro, they're clearly not going to have anything to do for Jade, and they're just going to take her off TV until Naomi comes back, and then they'll start something there. I hate this because putting the title back on her gives her something to do, and then you can build up a triple threat match going into probably not into the next pay-per-view. I would give her Charlotte. Shit, if anything, bro, they could have did something. They've ruined Lash Legends' fucking momentum. So we can't do anything there with that, sadly. But it is what it is, though. I think keeping the title on Jade was the better option because there was, with you making these moves of moving all these people over to SmackDown, including Rhea, now you can focus on, man, they gonna push Jade to the side, bro. I know it. They finna push Jade to the side. She not finna be able to do nothing for a while. It is what it is. Either until Naomi or Bianca come back. It is what it is.
In a WrestleMania rematch. I look forward to this because I enjoyed WrestleMania a bit. It went a bit short, but my belief was that this is in Italy and a non-WrestleMania show is going to get way more time to materialize. Is Jade Cargill wrestling a 10+ minute match like a kid swimming in the deep section of the pool? Yes, but if you want to be in the top of the company, you need to wrestle these kind of matches. Otherwise, you'll be like Jey Uso. Jay dominated in the early part. Zero effort and no lack of confidence radiating from the challenger. The Italian fans are booing her the entire time. They're all angry, and it takes a while for Rhea to build back up. And it's time for Act 3. Now at this point, it was a decent match. Yeah, Jade dominated a bit too long, but at this point in the match went crazy. The fans were eating this up like it was last night's main event. They had this New Japan counter sequence where they scouted everything. So many counters, so many reversals. There was this brutal slam from Rhea here, and I couldn't believe I was saying it, but this was a better match than the WWE Championship match. This was allowed more time to materialize, and you felt the value and importance of the World Championship. I saw work.
It was a good match, though. I'm not gonna sit up here and say that it wasn't. It was definitely a good match. I just don't like the fact that Jade didn't come out on top because there's so much more potential with Jade than it is with Rhea.
Great in a Jade Cargill match.
Because pretty much Rhea's about to become Rhea Hogan or Rhea Cena. It's about to be sad over here, bro. She finna win every fucking match that comes her way. Cause who's up next now? Tell me who's up next. They gonna put her up against Nia Jax, who's been losing constantly as of recently. They gonna give her a match against Paige and the Bellas. Fuck out of here.
And the baddies showed up and it was so awkward because the ref had to stop the fall for them, which I hated. Charlotte Flair though makes the save and saves Rhea's title reign, returning the favor to Jade, leading to Riptide and her retaining the title. And it's like, we're all buddies now, Rhea and Charlotte and Rhea. But this is a pretty damn good match. One of the best matches in Jade Cargill's career for sure. Probably the best match she's ever had. And that's saying something because she rose up to the occasion here. Rhea Ripley proved to be great as well. Even though there was the interference and all that nonsense drama, I still enjoyed this match. I thought it was pretty damn good. That said, it does seem like the direction is Rhea and Charlotte. I do look forward to that. Although if it was me, I would probably do that at WrestleMania, to be honest. But enjoyable match. A bit of a homecoming for Rhea Ripley. And I was very impressed with Jade Cargill the most here. That's all I gotta say. Oba Femi faces Brock Lesnar. The sequel
They ruined Oba. They ruined Oba. I don't care what y'all say. Y'all can say, but he just got back into the King of the Ring. Did you see him in the King of the Ring? No. Fuck that match. They ruined Oba Femi. They gave him the most momentous match you could give him at WrestleMania, the biggest event of the company. Just to retcon that shit and give Brock the victory back. What was the purpose then? You've ruined Oba. And y'all can sit up here and say, but it's 1-1 though. There's still the rubber match, bro. The one that the end all match, bro. You still got that? No. That WrestleMania match should have been a one and only. He dominated him in the first match. That's the point. Like, it's not like they had a fucking 5-star classic in the first match and then he got us get back in the second one. No, he dominated him and then he took his shit off and fucking retired. Just to retcon that shit because they want him to be retired at SummerSlam in Minneapolis. Fuck out of here, bro.
didn't think we'd have after WrestleMania. Now, Brock is the one chasing. I don't need to explain how good of a position Oba is in. He's already getting the international crowds cheering him, which means a lot. And it's gotten to the point where watching both men's entrances, I don't think the Italian national team had this kind of love in the last 3 years. Just leave the US at this point. People want to be at these shows. They want to cheer. They want to elevate the shows to make it feel like an amazing experience. Femi took his eye off Lesnar and took 4 F5s in the process. Where would we be after 4 F5s? The clinic or underground? Brock brought out a desperate Kimura, and while Oba was in the worst point he could be, he still had a chance. But then he took a 5th F5, and this match was just blockbuster explosive stuff. What I mean by that is, it's not a special match, it's just a finisher match. Brock hit an F5 through the table, and out of desperation, he wanted to win by countout. I find it hilarious that he wanted to win with a countout because this is Brock Lesnar we're talking about. Oba was still in it, he still had the fight, still had the anger, the intensity, but even then, he was unable to stop the beast Brock Lesnar on this night, and he took a 7th F5 to lose his first match on the main roster. I mean, it was bound to happen. Go through the trials and tribulations. That's what it is. And to be honest, I think he lost in the most protected way possible. It is clear that this isn't going to end with the second match, but it also does worry me a bit about his future because it's like, if he could lose now, who's to say he won't lose his first big title match? You know, and it's one of those scenarios, but I still think he's in a great position at that, not even a good one, but you never know with the WWE, and I'm not saying that in a good way, to be honest with you guys. It could be a King of the Ring Oba Femi. He goes up against Roman at SummerSlam, maybe. I don't see it though because, well, these two kind of have unfinished business, if we're being honest, and that sounds like the SummerSlam match for Brock Lesnar in Minnesota. Becky Lynch defends the Women's Intercontinental Championship against Sol Ruca, a story all about Becky underestimating what Sol is capable of. I thought this was a well-worked match. It doesn't have a particular distinctive element about it, rather it was more of a back and forth battle that perfectly captured both women's characters. Sol is more of a go-getter even to her detriment, whereas Becky uses experience before relying on cheap tactics to get her openings. Ruca showed her incredible athleticism here. She was too flippy for the sake of it at times, which did add to the story of Becky and Sol. Both are the worst enemies of their persistence to go with what they like as to what they should. And while Becky was up to no good, she wasn't capable of stopping the hype train of Sol Ruca. This time she didn't mess up the move. She had to take a little moment there before hitting it. Sol still has something to learn after watching this match, but there's plenty of upside. Only time will tell, but as a match, this wasn't bad at all. Some awkward moments. This was okay.
This was okay. This wasn't all that. It was okay, but I feel like shenanigans are finna come in the future.
What they fall through. I would be a bigger hater if she won the world title. It's just that new toy thing they love to do, so I'm a bit cautious about it. They did it to Julia and Stephanie, so obviously I have my reasons to be skeptical. Why don't we just give this newcomer the title and see where it goes? And we've seen it with Maxine Dupree. We've seen it, of course, with Lyra Valkyria. It feels like they just want to have the match and the result just to have the match and the result. But only time will tell. And the main event, Roman Reigns defends the World Heavyweight Championship against Jacob Fatu in a tribal combat match. Now, I haven't been moved by Roman Reigns' character recently, but I do have something to look forward to, which is his in-ring work. The Backlash match between these two impressed me a lot. They moved fast, great chemistry, and while tribal combat doesn't have a good history, I thought there was no way that these two were going to disappoint here. Keyword thought. Turin was all in on this match. Wonderful atmosphere here, but then the match goes down. They fight and stop around the arena. It was a normal brawl with nothing distinctive. Roman Reigns was cheered like he built the tribal chief story here in Italy, and it's undeniable how much love the fans have for him wherever he goes. Slow ass match though. The best spot up to this point was Reigns decking Fatu with a drive-by right into the LED board, and finally the match started moving fast. And of course the tongue and death grip was once again used here, which is the least shocking thing about this match. But this is a fight. Reigns intelligently went after the head with a toolbox, which allowed for the tongue and death grip to become weak. There's some moments here where it's high and then others where they want to waste time. Poor security guards, they're probably thinking about dinner. Reigns is trash talking with an ego the size of Triple H's nose, and it's funny how he's talking all this while getting cheered and having chants sung about him. Jacob no-sold 2 Superman punches, 2 shots to the exposed turnbuckles, but even then he was capable of hitting a spear. Reigns low blow Jacob at one point out of desperation in the pinfall, and he repeatedly blasted him with the exposed turnbuckle before spearing him through a table, but even then he was still up. So Reigns had to hit another spear to score the victory. Okay. Odd match. It had some elements that were pointless. For one, the slow pace in the beginning, which bored me, it had me thinking about my nap. But throughout it, the fans were singing and cheering for Roman Reigns. They were into it. On this side, they had some pretty good action in the second half of the match. So overall, I think it's just like...
I thought this match was good. This was a good match. Wasn't a bad match for me. For me personally, I understand pacing of the match. You want to start off slow, you want to get the crowd into it, then you want to go crazy in the second act of it. So it's a typical Roman Reigns match. Is what we get. Starts off slow, then shit starts to pick up, and it starts to be like, hey, okay, be like that. But anyways, though.
Kinda good. It's not gonna leave you thinking much afterward, which is the worst part because I took a nap afterward. The most hilarious thing is that the bloodline drama is still ongoing with Reigns saying he's got something for Solo. We're back in the timeline by the looks of it. We're back in 2024 with the bloodline, and it's clear that Triple H, or as he wants to be called, Paul Levesque, has no ideas. Well, tell me, why in the year of 2026 are we running back the bloodline? I understand the Jacob Fatu thing, it's a fresh perspective, but why are we doing the whole Usos and Roman thing, the whole Solo Sikoa thing? Are we not gonna evolve here? And just to add to this, there's a possibility that because Jacob Fatu lost this match that he's gonna be tamed. I believe Michael Cole mentioned on commentary, and that's a bit unfortunate because if he faces the same situation as Jey Uso where he falls in line with Roman, it's gonna be pretty detrimental to him. Yeah, you're gonna be on TV every week and you're gonna be in the main events and stuff like that, but you're not the star. This stuff started 6 years ago and it's gone down to 2 years ago. Why are we running it back? It's not like we're nostalgic for the bloodline, but that's exactly what they're gonna do, and I thought it was a perfect time to nap. Like, there's no reason for me to be moved or excited by anything from the World Heavyweight Championship scene if this is what they're gonna do. What's next? SummerSlam and Jey Uso or something? Like, is that what we're gonna do? It is clear that they're not inspired. They straight up had Roman say he's next. Overall, Clash in Italy was a fun little show, I'd say. My issue with it is that they always miss the mark when it comes to booking. Like, there's some easy decisions to do. You either have Gunther win or lose. Why do you always have to do that dragging thing, drive the momentum down, and then have them win? I don't understand that, and that's what it's probably going to be like for Gunther. Rhea Ripley and Jade Cargill is my match of the night. They did that one well. We don't need to say anything more, nothing less. Femi and Brock, he's got to go through the struggle. You guys know how it is. Becky and Saul was nice. In the main event, there was some elements I enjoyed, but there was some elements I could care less about. So yeah, I'm sorry if I sound uninterested because I low-key am. It's just sometimes there's not a lot to talk about onto the next video, which is exactly how it is for me. It's not one of those matches where it's like, damn, I want to hop on here and talk with my microphone and upload this video on YouTube. I could care less about that. And it also shows how inept Triple H is. The fact that he's running this back. I don't care if Roman Reigns is the one who requested it. And just to add to this, there's just a lot of things where it's like, oh, right, who cares? For one, Liv Morgan is in the Queen of the Ring tournament despite being the women's world champion. I don't even understand the logic behind that.
Yeah, that don't make no fucking sense. Why is she in the Queen of the Ring tournament when the Queen of the Ring is to determine is for a #1 contendership spot? What are they doing? Are they finna unify the women championships? Man, this shit finna be stupid, bro. Either they finna unify the women championships and just make it one championship who can defend it on one or on both shows. Man, I see why everybody is jumping ship to AEW. Every YouTuber I know that does WWE content, they're all jumping ship to AEW and they're not looking back. They're watching AEW episodes and they're saying, "Dog, I'm not coming back, bro. They got good content over here." I'm thinking about joining that ship as well, bro. I think WWE has really ran its course. Think about it. I'm just now doing a fucking review of fucking a PLE. And normally I do it the day after, but it is what it is. But anyways, though, that's just gonna about do it for this one. Yeah, man, it's looking like I may be joining the AEW hype train, man. I've been hearing good things, man. Hearing good things might pique my interest. So yeah, may have to tap in. But other than that, I'll see you on the next one. Till then, deuces.